Welcome back to Two Brothers Comics. I'm Nick, and today we're going to take a look again at the all-new, all-different Marvel Unlimited app. Now, it was about a week or two ago, I actually just did a full review of the app, and most of that's still going to stand still to what it is today. There's not been a ton of changes. There's been a few small features removed that, quite frankly, I don't think a ton of people were using, and if you were, I don't think you're going to miss them all that much. Now, the biggest outfront change to this app logo, the new infinite comic book apps, and they're really trying to personalize the app to you. Whereas before, I think the app was really trying to be used as more of a selling point. Like I mentioned in my review video, if there was an Eternals movie coming out, which it is currently, they were pushing Eternals heavily. Hawkeye, there would have been a ton of Hawkeye being pushed to you as recommended reads and things like that. Whereas now there are some new features such as following your favorite comic book characters so that they personalize to you that way. They're really trying to push weekly releases as if that was a new feature of the app, when in fact, weekly new releases, that's been happening for quite some time, but you're not getting them until almost 90 days, at minimum 90 days after launch. So the comic books coming out this Wednesday, you will not get a chance to read those digitally on the app until 90 days from now, and that's, again, at least 90 days. It could be more. Now, the Infinite Scroll, the Infinite Comics, we'll talk about those in a second, and then I will also do a follow-up second video reviewing some of the newest ones and see if they're actually worth it. Now, one of the other biggest changes that I think a lot of people are going to enjoy, especially if you use like an iPad that doesn't necessarily have Wi-Fi connection all the time or a cell service, unlimited downloads. Before, I think there was a max. I don't know why 30 is coming to my head. I think at one point it might have been 30 comics. It could have been less. Regardless, it's now completely unlimited. So endless comics for offline reading. So let's dive in and take a new look at the Marvel Unlimited app user interface. So we're going to click on it there immediately. The new little logo animation there is pretty cool. Very similar to like the Marvel cinematic titles, things like that. Looks very, very similar here. It has at the top introducing new Infinity Comics, the new storylines, new weekly releases, character close-ups, Marvel Zombies. What if the Zombies just came out, so they know people are going to be looking for that. Again, I think that's where they're kind of moving most of their, selling or pushing of the relevant comic books to their shows and movies there. The rest of these are all going to be really personalized, and I really do like that a lot. So recommended series based on things that I've read. New this week, I think that's super helpful, as well as continue reading. You can see I've done a lot of the infinite scroll reading already. And then as you keep scrolling, this is where it starts to go into more recommended characters, popular series, things of that nature. And one of the cool things is if you click on the popular characters, you can actually click follow these. So if you like Spider-Man, click follow. If you're into Wolverine, you click on it, click follow. So now what's going to happen, if you go to my library, you have a following, you can look and see all relevant comic books, new issues, things like that right there. And I think that's a cool feature because if you're really into Spider-Man, you have a few minutes, sit down, scroll through what's into Spider-Man. I don't think that's going to be necessarily what I'm going to use it for because I'm very specific in what I want to read, but that is one of the new built-in functions. Other than that, though, it looks very similar. They've really narrowed down kind of the app to the core functions of personalized reading, the new Infinity Comics, things like that. It's very straightforward, to the point. Kind of feels a lot like Comixology. But yeah, I mean, not a lot's changed. And really the Infinite Comics are the biggest things. And we'll just click on one here. I was reading the Amazing Spider-Man Infinite Comic. What's really cool about these, and we'll scroll all the way back up to the top here. What's really cool about these is they took an opportunity. Right now there's only like 27, 28 Infinite Comics listed. They're planning to add more, but they're retelling origin stories. So if you look, there's a Spider-Man's origin. I read Venom's. They're doing that with a lot of their popular characters, and I think that's a pretty cool way. And these Infinite Comics are a lot like, single panel, high res, take up full screen. So it's very interesting, and I'm a big fan of this. I like it on the Webtoon. DC Comics just did the same thing with Webtoon, so that was very interesting. This whole vertical scroll, infinite scroll type format, I really do enjoy. So I'm very interested to see what happens. with this, and I'll give my thoughts in another video. So far, 50-50, I think, in terms of what my thoughts are on them. But subscribe, and we'll talk about that in another video. Let me know what you guys think about the Marvel Unlimited app, the new app. And if you have any questions, reach out to us. What are your thoughts on it so far? I know it's only been a few days, but after we got back from Lexington Con, I really wanted to spend some time diving deep into it, see if there was any real big changes outside of the few we discussed, and so far I think it's just a few. Guys, you are the best part of Two Brothers Comics. I do want to give a big shout out to all the members, and if you do want to join the channel to help support us, hit the blue join button down below, and as always, collect your way.